Over the next few days, I'd like to talk to you about electrical energy around your home. I want to talk about what it could be transformed into, how much it's going to cost you, and where we get our electricity from. So let's start with what it can be turned into. So the magic of electricity is that it can turn into all different types of energy. So one type of energy comes into our house, electrical, and we can turn it into almost anything we want. So if you can make yourself a little chart showing the different examples of electrical energy turning into some other type of energy, that would be helpful. So let's look at them. So with a hairdryer, we are turning electrical energy into heat energy. With the ceiling fan, we're turning electrical energy into kinetic energy. With the LED lights that you have around your room, you're turning electrical energy into light energy of all different colors and patterns, which is pretty neat. We can turn electrical energy into sound energy using electric guitars and keyboards and amplifiers. Okay? Electrical energy can turn into sound that makes some really nice music. We can have electrical energy like in this Tesla that runs off of electrical energy, and it could turn into potential energy as you climb up to the top of a very steep hill. So the magic of electricity is that one type of energy can easily be turned into whatever type of energy we need around the house or neighborhood. However, the electrical energy is not free. I'm sure you've been yelled at before and someone said to you, turn off the lights, turn off the TV, this electricity is not free. Okay, so let's figure out how much this electricity actually costs. So in Glassboro, the Glassboro Pittman area where I am, you can see that the cost of electricity is 14.94 cents per kilowatt hour. So we learned about watt hours, and we saw how they can be converted into joules. A kilowatt hour is the same thing. It can be turned into joules. But the important thing is, when you are billed by the electric company, they will turn those kilowatt hours into money that you owe them. So on the side of your house, you'll have a little meter like this, and you'll see it's going to measure out how many kilowatt hours you use. And once a month, someone's going to come around to your house, probably you won't even be aware of it, and they're going to read that meter. They're going to see how much electricity your household has used. Then they're going to convert that kilowatt hour number into a dollar amount that you will then owe the electric company. I would like you to make sure you have your conversions on your conversion sheet. So you should see a conversion on there already that will turn kilowatt hours into joules. I'd also like you to add to that 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 14.94 cents. If you prefer, you can write it in dollars and you just move your decimal point a few spots. Okay, so 1 kilowatt hour would equal $0.1494. I did not put that on your reference sheet because that is not a physical constant. That's an economic number that will change based on circumstances of supply and demand. So right now in Glassboro, this is the number. It's been around that number for at least the last 10 years, but it can change at any time. This map shows you the cost for kilowatt hours on average all around the United States. So you'll see the average in New Jersey is almost 16 cents a kilowatt hour. So in Glassboro Pittman, we're paying a little bit less. You'll see one of the best places is Washington State, and that's because they have a lot of hydroelectric power, which can be generated really cheaply. We'll learn more about that tomorrow. You'll see places like Hawaii and Alaska, which are difficult to transport the fuels for electricity you'll see that the cost of electricity is much higher. I want you to realize, as I said, these numbers are fluid and they could change. So just last week, Texas had some major issues with their electricity supplies because of the weather. This led the power companies to raise the price of a kilowatt hour, and you could see that it was through the roof. It got capped by the Utility Commission at 900 cents per kilowatt hour. They refused to let the companies charge more than 900 cents per kilowatt hour. Even at 900 cents per kilowatt hour, electric bills are going to go through the roof. They said a typical electric bill could go up to $9,000 for 1 month. Okay, so this has the potential of causing severe economic harm on a large part of that state. Okay, so let's figure out how we could figure out how much something costs to run. Okay, we'll do it for Glassboro, but you could do this with any of the states or any of the locations using the same process. So when you have an appliance like a microwave or a hairdryer or projector or whatever else you happen to be using, it will usually give you a power. I picked the hairdryer because they tend to write the powers in big bold letters right on there. It's desirable to have a higher power because that means you're going to be able to dry your hair quicker. Sometimes, like on the microwave, you might find the power on the inside of the door. Some of the appliances you'll find it on a little tag, and some of them will be written underneath. But all appliances should have the power rating. So you start with your power formula. You take the power of your appliance, in this case 1875. You take the time it takes you to dry your hair, and let's just say it took 10 minutes. You want to make sure you put that into seconds, and you solve for your energy. That energy is going to be in joules. You then want to convert it into kilowatt hours. You then want to convert it into dollars or cents. Okay, so you want to set up something like this. Again, your answer would go here. 1 kilowatt hour is 3.6 e to the 6 joules. That can be found right here. And then you just work it through to figure out the cost. So this is how much it would cost you to run your hair dryer for 10 minutes for 1 day. If you do this every day for a month, because you're usually billed once a month, you could multiply your final answer by 30 to see how much it's costing your household per month for you to dry your hair. All right, I hope this procedure was not too difficult, and I hope we can use it to figure out the cost of running lots of different appliances around the house.